We begin with breaking news out of Berlin, where a truck has plowed through a busy Christmas market, killing 9 people, injuring at least 50 others. 3 other American service members also injured in that raid. We have learned 14 al-Qaeda fighters were killed in the assault. The U.S. service member who was killed has not yet been identified. We will continue to follow this story and bring you the latest. Russia's ambassador to Turkey is dead after a shooting in Ankara, Turkey. Andrei Karlov was giving a speech at the opening of a photo exhibit when cameras captured the attack. Now, we want to warn you, some of this video may be disturbing. We want to update you on a breaking news story out of Tijuana. A 2-month-old boy kidnapped from National City this past Thursday is safe. Authorities are now offering a $20,000 reward for information leading to the capture of 2 dangerous prisoners. Rogelio Chavez and LaRon Campbell escaped from a San Jose jail on Thanksgiving Eve. Your weather forecast is about to get better. The GOES-R satellite is scheduled to launch from Cape Canaveral this afternoon. Hey, you drop any expletives or F-bombs lately? Well, if you have, a new study suggests people who swear more tend to be more honest. I swear it. Science has studied nearly 300 people and asked them how much they swear. They analyzed the Facebook statuses of 75,000 people who used a certain app. They looked beyond individual people and instead analyzed state-level raw data. What they found was more swearing equaled more integrity. I'll be darned. Well, Donald Trump has reached the required 270 electoral votes to become president of the United States. They went to school today, members of the Electoral College, casting their votes, and with few signs of a revolt. This is normally a symbolic gathering to formalize the majority vote in their respective states. But many people unhappy with the election were pleading for electors to go rogue.
We really need them to vote their conscience, do the right thing for the United States.
In a CW6 News exclusive, people who cross the U.S.-Mexico border to shop in San Ysidro or visit family in the area say they are living in fear.
You're watching CW6 News at 4.
Postal workers nationwide will accept 611 million pieces of mail today. John Carroll is live at the main post office in Carmel Mountain Ranch with more. John?
John Carroll, CW6 News.
All right, John. A UPS driver is caught on camera making a not-so-special delivery. Happened at a house in Vallejo, leaving the homeowners furious. Julie Watts has the story.
Coming up, we talk more about the high winds rolling through the area. Phil?
Thanks, Sabrina. I like your best friend, high pressure. Kids in East County receiving a special treat this morning, a special breakfast hosted by Santa Claus himself. Plug and Play San Diego is a program offering several entrepreneurs the help they need to run a successful business. Carlos Correa is here to show us how it's turning ideas into million-dollar success stories. Carlos?
That's right. Many businesses started this way.
Back here, a very unexpected and potentially dangerous find in the backyard of a home in Hillcrest. A homeowner was doing some yard work at their house on Dove Street yesterday afternoon when he found an unexploded military rocket. You won't believe this story. People were concerned after they saw what they thought was a woman in a car sitting motionless with an oxygen mask on. So police officers did what you would expect. They broke into the car only to find the woman was actually an extremely realistically looking mannequin. The owner of the car eventually walked up and told police he worked for a company that makes medical training aids, and he was not happy with police for breaking into his car. Police say they did the right thing. The man said, "You big dummy, what did you do that for?" Trump administration facing some backlash of its own. A group of Californians have started a petition drive in hopes to break away from the rest of the country. Think of it as Brexit. The nickname, though, Colexit. This step allows for the petition to be circulated, gauging whether voters might want to repeal part of the state constitution that declares California an inseparable part of the United States. They need to collect 500,000 signatures by July, then an initial vote.
That would have to set in place another California initiative, another positive vote, and then the rest of the nation would have to decide whether they really want to let California and all its tax dollars and all its sunshine and all its military bases walk away from the union.
Dr. Thad Kauser is the chairman of the political science department at UCSD. He says the state is the first line of defense for the West Coast.
California is vital to the nation's security with military bases in all branches all across the state. Second, the military is vital to the defense of California. So what would happen if we arranged something like, well, a give back of the bases and those military groups who left California? Might we, at some point in the future, be vulnerable to invasion by the rest of the country? Absolutely, if you look at the history of Europe.
Dr. Kauser on immigration reform.
That's going to set up a battle, but it's a battle that California may not win. So as the governor acknowledged, the federal law is the supreme law of the land.
Now, we spoke to the Yes California Independence campaign, but they were not available for an on-camera interview. California has led the way for the nation in reducing pollution, importing, exporting jobs, tough gun control standards. But this would be a political miracle. Even if everything went according to schedule here in the state, we would still have to amend the U.S. Constitution, which does not allow for state secession. Welcome back. The time is 8:14. We begin with blistering, blizzard-like, bone-chilling weather that is barreling through parts of the country. From the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic and Midwest, Mother Nature has left behind a bitter trail. Icy roads causing dangerous and difficult driving conditions. And welcome back. The time is 9:15. President Trump signing 3 more executive actions this weekend, some of them designed to change the way Washington does business. These were his first, quote, ethics actions. One of these prevents administration officials who leave government employment from lobbying federal agencies where they worked for a 5-year period. He used the same exact wording Clinton and Obama used, except he included more years. This also puts a lifetime ban on administration officials on behalf of foreign government or political parties. Another reorganizes the National Security and Homeland Security Councils. And the third gives military leaders 30 days to compose and present a plan to defeat ISIS. Welcome back. The time is now 8:13. The UN says some civilians trying to flee war-torn Aleppo have reportedly been stopped by rebel fighters. This video shows some of those residents attempting to escape, although news outlets can't confirm its authenticity. The UN warns of grave human rights situations in the Syrian city. An official said Friday hundreds of men may have gone missing after trying to flee rebel-held areas. Family members say they lost contact with them when they headed for government-controlled neighborhoods. The UN also says rebel groups may be targeting civilians as a regime offensive continues in eastern Aleppo. Secretary of Defense Ash Carter announcing this weekend 200 additional U.S. troops will be deployed to Syria. The troops will help train and assist U.S.-backed local forces. It's all part of a fight to drive out ISIS from their self-declared capital in Raqqa. The troops include special operations forces, trainers, and advisors.
These uniquely skilled operators will join the 300 U.S. Special Operations Forces already in Syria.
And U.S. Senator John Glenn will lie in repose at the Ohio State House in Rotunda in Columbus this coming Friday. The event will be followed by a memorial service at Ohio State University on Saturday. Glenn, a former Marine pilot, will be eventually buried at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. He died Thursday at the age of 95. Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth back in 1962 and later served as a Democratic senator from Ohio. For more on these stories and to keep up with news while you are on the go, you can also visit our website at cw6sandiego.com. CW6 News this evening at 10 o'clock. We'll join you then. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.